All right. Hey, hey guys and gals. What's happening? Doing a video. I wasn't really planning on doing a video because I'm working on this 69 Nova. It's in primer. That's about it. But I just now noticed something, and I've got to ask, and I probably know the answer, but right along here, there's a line. I think that needs to be sanded out. I don't know. There's a line right across there. I don't think that belongs there. I think I need to sand that out. It doesn't look right. But there's a 69 Nova in primer. And I think once I sand that out, I'll start painting this bad boy. I'm not a real fond of Novas, but I want to give this car a chance. Try to make a hot rod out of it. Well, it is a hot rod in some people's eyes. I don't know. We'll see. But that's what I'm working on right now. I got a bunch of parts over here painted, bottom chassis painted. So wasn't really ready to show a video about the car, but I will when I'm done. But one other thing is I wanted to do. Oh, also I got some shop cards in. I got 4 of them. Styrene Monkey, Rambler 69, Rick Zink, Skeletor Remains. That one's cool. And the Country Model Shop, Monty Davis. They're up here on my wall, and don't really want to mess with the camera, but I got them up here. And thanks, guys. Those are really cool cards. I appreciate them. I think my next project maybe is to make one of my own. We'll see. I got to come up with something really cool though, because these cards are cool. So, I made this video specifically. A gentleman named Charlie Mack. He asked me some questions in an email, and I want to answer those questions in a video so he can check this out. By the way, Charlie Mack, that U47 sub, all the history that you put in up with that on your video, talked about it. That was really cool. I like any type of war history or anything like that. I like history in general, but any type of the war stuff was really interesting to me, and I did not know that the German Navy sunk all their ships. Didn't know that. So that was really cool. I learned something from that. I don't know how that one got by me, but that was cool. I appreciate that. That was a cool history lesson. I like that stuff. So, but Charlie Mack, you asked me 2 questions: how I got my shop name and how I got into this hobby. The shop name I'm still kind of working on. I picked Dodge Cuda for the name of the channel. Didn't really know what I was doing. I love the Dodge Cuda, the 1970 Dodge Cuda. I think it's a beautiful car. I like the 71. I didn't really appreciate that car until I got to my older years now. I grew up a Mustang. My dad basically was a gearhead, dirt track racer, did a little bit of quarter mile stuff here at Formosa, near Bakersfield. And he ran a 68 fastback Mustang through the quarter mile. Not real fast. I think he did like 12, 13 seconds. Nothing real fancy, but he did it for fun. And he loved cars. He was a car mechanic, and he just absolutely loved cars. And when I was growing up, it was all about the Ford Mustang. We probably had 11 of them in our backyard at one time. It was crazy. And not only Mustangs, but that guy would come up with all kinds of cool cars. Cars now, one of my goals here in the next future is to get myself a muscle car. I've got a lot of options I want to choose from, but right now they're just hard to find. And when you find them, they're already fixed up and they're outrageously expensive. And when you find them that aren't fixed up, they're still expensive. But I'm going to get one. I'm going to get something. I got to have something. So I grew up around cars. My dad was a car guy, mechanic, and learned to love cars. And I absolutely love cars. I'm not a Ford Mustang guy or a Chevy Camaro. I really like them all. I'm not really a Chevy, Dodge, Ford person. I like them all. And yeah, the shop name, that's kind of, Dodge Cuda. I'd love to have that car, and that's kind of just what I came up with. So that's pretty much the shop name. Now, the other question you had was how I got in the hobby. And I remember this real specific, and I don't know why I remember this, but I remember being about 9 or 10 years old, and I was sitting at the kitchen table with my dad, and we were bored, And we'd always sit at the kitchen table, and he'd draw cars. We'd draw cars, and he'd draw motors and show me how they work and explain them to me and like little drawings and stuff and illustrations, and always talking cars, talking to me about gear ratios and cams and pistons and just everything about cars. And he'd draw them out on paper and show them. Well, one night we were bored, and he goes, "Come with me." All right. So I got up, and I had a brother and a sister, but I have a brother and a sister, but I always seemed to be attached to him, and pretty much went a lot of places with him. I don't know why. My brother and sister were younger, and I was a little bit older, so I always tagged around with him, and I loved running around in his Mustang or whatever old car he had at the time. But we went to a store called Thrifty's. It was at nighttime, and I remember it was raining. I don't know why I remember this. And we went into the store, and there's this whole row of these cars, and I'm like, "Whoa, what the heck?" I mean, I never saw the model cars before because, I mean, I always went to the toy section, but they're always kind of separate. They weren't really in the toy section that I remember, like Kmart, Thrifty's. They had their own section. And I was like, wow, okay, this is cool. And so we bought it was either 55 or 57 Chevy Bel Air, and it had a flip nose on it, and it was black with flames. And we brought that home, and we sat at the kitchen table, and we worked on it. We built it, and we bought a bunch of the basic. Oh man! Oop, there he goes. We bought the basic tester's little kit and a couple brushes, and we put the car together. I think we left it black, and we didn't really do a whole lot of high detail or anything. But after I built that car and we worked on it together, that was it. I asked for models all the time for my birthdays and Christmas, and I'd mow lawns and get money and go down to the drugstore. It seems like they were everywhere back then. And I would buy models like crazy. And I'd start putting different kits together and just doing all kinds of crazy stuff with them. And I did that till I was about, 14, 15 years old, and realized this ain't cool no more. And other things were starting to be cool. I started wanting a real car of my own. And of course, at that age, girls came along. And so I played football, did sports, didn't really mess with the model cars anymore, but I always kept them in my room. And that was pretty much it for model cars until I think I tried to get back into it in my early 20s, or maybe my late 20s. I got a couple, kind of want to get back into it. And at that time, kids, job, life was just too crazy. And I just didn't keep going with it. Well, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years ago, here at the house, my wife and I we have 9 kids together, and most of them are moved out of the house and gone, and we have one little girl left. She still lives here, and so rooms became available throughout the house, and we have this one room, and she wanted me to build her this big crafting table, and I built her this big beautiful table, and she does her hobby thing in there. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's pictures and photos and, I don't know, scrapbooking or something. I don't know what it's called, but she has this thing. And I thought, well, I have a little corner of this big, beautiful shop table I built. And I started building models again. And then at first I thought, what am I doing? I'm a grown man and I'm building models. And I even told my wife, hey, don't tell anybody I'm doing this. Well, and I enjoyed it, and it was fun. And I love cars. And one way about models is I can't own all these cars, but I can build them how I would want to build them and have them. And I'm able to get these cars, but a lot smaller scale. But I am going to work on that. So I started building cars, and then she generously gave me a room of my own now. So I have my own room, and I started setting it up. And what really struck me is I started getting on YouTube, and it blew my mind that there was so many guys at my age building these cars, and the work that I was seeing was like the work I remember looking at in the model magazines when I was a kid, and just like blown away at how did they do that. Well, here on YouTube now, you guys show us how to do that. You guys have a lot of tutorials, and so there's a lot of good information within this community how to get that level. You can really get to that level with just the information and some of the things I'm watching. And I really want to get to that level. I want to take it a little bit more serious and make some of these cars look like you can just climb into them and drive away, So yeah, that's kind of how I got back into it, and I'm really hooked now, and I try to spend as much time as I can, but last couple of weeks my butt's been getting kicked at work, and I've been working a lot of hours. But I love coming in here, spending time making these cars. You know, I absolutely love cars, and you know, I can't have all the 1-to-1 scale cars that I want, but I can have as many as these. But I will say one thing: when I was a kid, these things were like $7 a piece. They were cheap. Now these are not. These things are outrageous. I mean, some of the prices are like, wow. They're not. It's not a cheap hobby, and then some of the aftermarket stuff that really makes these kits look good. Yeah, that stuff's not cheap, but it's worth it, and it's fun, and I enjoy it. And if I have a bad habit, this is probably one of my worst bad habits right now, I guess. You know, so that's how I got into the hobby, Charlie. And that's my shop name, kind of, sort of. And that's about it, guys. I just wanted to answer Charlie's question. Thank everybody for the shop cards. I really dig them. I'm going to try to work on my own. And let's see. That's it. Thanks for all your videos. Thanks for watching and taking the time to watch mine. And I appreciate all your guys' comments. You're a great group of guys. Everything's real positive, everything's real helpful, and I just appreciate the welcome into the community of the modelers, and I really appreciate it. And I just want to say thank you. And when this car's done, I'll show you guys and gals what it looks like. All right, see you guys later. Bye.